Hello everyone. This is the 16th session of Cost Accounting BCom 5th semester Vijayanagara Shri Krishna Devaraya University. In the last session we have learnt about bin card, stores ledger, the difference between the bin card and the stores ledger, essentials of good pricing method, important points while pricing the material issues, and methods of pricing the material issues. So in this session we will learn about first in first out method, that is FIFO method, merits and demerits of FIFO, and we will understand how to record the transactions under FIFO method. Methods of pricing the material issues. The problem of pricing the issues arise only when the large quantities of materials purchased at different prices remain in the stock for a period of time, making it difficult to identify which unit of material was purchased at what price, and hence which price is to be charged for the issue. The pricing of issues only deal with the assigning of pricing to the issues. It has nothing to do with the actual physical movement of materials. There are a number of methods for pricing the materials. Some of them are first in first out, that is FIFO method, last in first out, that is LIFO method, simple average method, and weighted average method. So today we will learn about the first in first out method, that is FIFO method. Under this method, issues are priced on the assumption that materials purchased first are issued first. The actual physical movement may or may not follow this pattern. Materials issued are priced at the oldest price recorded in the store's ledger for materials in stock. So, the closing stock of material is valued at the price of the latest purchases. The method is particularly suitable in case of perishable materials and in the period of falling prices. The issues are priced at oldest price, which are highest, and hence facilitate the recovery of higher costs. The closing stock is valued at the latest prices, which are lower. These result in lower value of closing stock and hence lower book profits, thereby lower tax liability. In case of rising prices, the effect is reverse. So what are the merits of FIFO method? It is simple to understand and easy to calculate, and it is a practical approach, and the value of closing stock represent the current market price. The actual price is recovered. It saves money and time in calculation. So what are the demerits or disadvantages of FIFO method? In times of inflation, closing stock will be at higher prices, which result in higher profits, and tax liabilities will be higher. So when purchases are more in number, pricing of materials issues becomes tedious. So next is when the prices are declining, the quotation price becomes less competitive. So next is FIFO is not appropriate measure if the materials purchased have fluctuating price patterns. So last demerit is FIFO pricing valuation method, although easy to understand, may get clumsy and cumbersome to operate and extract the cost of goods. Here is one illustration. Prepare a store's ledger account from the following information for the month of January 2012 on the basis of FIFO method. 2012 January 3rd, opening balance 200 kgs at rupees 20 per kg. 4th January issued 100 kgs. 10th January issued 50 kgs. 18th January purchased 300 kgs at rupees 18 per kg. 20th January issued 300 kgs. 28th January purchases 50 kgs at rupees 15 per kg. 30th January issued 100 kgs, and on the 30th January only another transaction is there, received back from the completed job 5 kgs. So within bracket it is given previously issued at rupees 20 per kg. First we will write down the format for the store's ledger account. So on the top we will write down the company name if it is given, Next we will write down stores ledger account. Under that we will write down the method, that is FIFO method. On the left hand side we will write down the name of the article, code number, bin card number. And on the right hand side we will write down the reorder level, minimum stock level, maximum stock level, reorder level. If these information are given, we should write down, otherwise we have to leave it blank. There are mainly 5 columns in the stores ledger account. First one is date, second is receipt, third is issue, fourth is balance, fifth is remarks. So we should know that always the transaction should be recorded chronologically. So here the transactions are in the chronological order only. So first date is January 3rd. Opening balance 200 kgs at rupees 20 per kg. So on the date column we should write the date, that is 3rd January 2012. So directly we should move to the balance column. So that is the opening balance. Quantity is 200 kgs. Rate is given 20 rupees. So amount will be 200 into 20, 4,000 rupees. So the next transaction is on the date 4th, issue of 100 kgs. So 4th January we should write down on the date column. So next we will write in the issue column, so the quantity of 100 kgs. So there is no information about the material requisition number, that is MR number. So we should directly write the quantity 100 kgs. So rate we should note down that there is only one batch in the balance column, that is 200 kgs at rupees 20 each. So we should take that batch only, 20 at 20 rupees per kg, 200 into 20, that is 2000 rupees. So next we will write down the balance. So from 200 kgs of the previous date balance we should deduct the issue quantity, that is 100 kgs. So remaining balance will be 200 minus 100, it will be 100 kgs. Rate it is rupees 20 per kg, and the amount will be 100 into 20, 2000 rupees. So the next transaction is on 10th January, issue of 50 kgs. So next is also issue. We will write down the date 10th, and in the issue column we will write down, so that is in the quantity column 50 kgs, and the rate will be same, because so there are no other batches other than the 20 rupees batches, that is 200 kgs are remaining at rupees 20 per kg. So we will issue 50 kgs from those 100 kgs only at rupees 20 each. So quantity is 50 kgs, rate is 20. So 50 into 20, it will be 1000 rupees. So balance we will write down. So from 100 kgs we are giving 50 kgs. So the balance will be 100 minus 50, 50 kgs. So rate will be only one batch, that is remaining 20 rupees. So 50 into 20, so 1000 rupees. So next transaction is on 18th January. Purchases 300 kgs at rupees 18 per kg. So we will write down the date 18. So there are purchases, so we will write the purchases on the receipt column. So there is no information about the GR number, that is goods received note number. So we will write down the quantity, that is 300 kgs. So the rate is given 18 rupees. So 300 into 18, 5400. So next we will write down the balance. So first we must write down the old balance, that is 50 kgs were remaining at rupees 20, amount is 1000. First we must write down the old balance. So next we should write down the new purchase. So that is 300 kgs at rupees 18, 5400. So we should write down the balance separately, because So both the batches have the different prices and they should be written separately. So next date of transaction is 20th January, issue of 300 kgs. So we'll write down in the issue column. So we have to issue 300 kgs. So we are issuing the material under FIFO method. So that is first in first out method. So first in first out method we know that, so for materials which are in the first batch should be issued first. After the first batch are exhausted, so then we should move on to the next batch. So the first batch is 50 kgs at rupees 20 each. So first we will write down the 50 kgs at rupees 20. So 300 kgs we have to issue. So 50 kgs we have already issued. So remaining 250 kgs we should issue from the 300 batch at rupees 18 per kg. So 250 into 18, it will be 4500. So next we must write on the balance. So balance, when we write the balance, we should see that what are the batches available. So 20 rupees batches are not available because we have issued already. So we have only 18 rupees batches, that is 300 minus 250, that is 50 kgs at rupees 18. So 50 into 18, that is equal to 900 rupees. So the next transaction is on 28th January, purchases 50 kgs at rupees 15 per kg. So on receipts column we should write down the purchases. There is no information about GR number. So quantity is 50 kgs at rupees 15. So 50 into 15, 750 rupees. Next we will move on to the balance column. So first we must write down the old balance, that is 50 kgs at rupees 18, 900 rupees. Next we will write down the new purchase. So that is 50 kgs at rupees 15. So 50 into 15, 750 rupees. So the next transaction is on 30th January. So on 30th January there is issue of 100 kgs. So we have to issue 100 kgs. So first we must see what are the batches available. So 50 kgs at rupees 18 and 50 kgs at rupees 15 are available. So both should be issued. So to make 100, so 50 kgs at rupees 18, that is rupees 900. 50 kgs at rupees 15, that is 750. So the balance will be 0. So both the batches are issued. So there is no balance on the 30th date. So on the 30th date, so next another transaction is available. So 30th January, received back from completed job 5 kgs. So there is return to stores from a job that is at of 5 kgs at rupees, which were issued at rupees 20 per kg. So issue rate is also given 5 kgs at rupees 20. So that is rupees 100. We should write down the balance. So 5 kgs at rupees 20, that is equal to 100. So when the goods are received to stores, they should be entered on the receipt column. Thank you.